Hey, Jake, it's great to talk to you. Can you give us an update on what this past year has been like and where you feel you are with your health right now? And when did you start getting to be able to feel like you were 100%?
Probably after I was cleared, I had a little meniscus cleanup last year after camp. I was kind of battling through that all camp, and sometimes you're able to play through those kind of things, and I tried, but eventually just had to go and get a good little clip of my meniscus taken out, and that's similar to all my previous ACLs where I felt good, but then once they cleaned up my meniscus and I was cleared from that, that's when I really started feeling 100%. So kind of at that junction point last year where I potentially could have came back and played, but Drew ended up getting called up. That's when I started feeling good, and then throughout this offseason, just try to build on that. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Feeling solid, feeling healthy, and you guys see me, I'm running around without a knee brace out there, so I'm feeling healthy.
Next up, Arnie Stapleton, go ahead.
Hey, Jake, with the star-crossed career that you've had with the injuries, do you ever get to the point, or are you at the point right now that it's not even a concern that your knees, you go out there and you don't have it in the back of your mind and anything like that?
I don't know if that's due to how many injuries I've had. I think that's due to training and rehab and mentally trying to get yourself back. When I'm out there, I'm not thinking about it. Now, I feel 100%, as in I can do everything that I need to do. I know what kind of player I can be. But for me, I still got to get used to running out and catching a ball with guys on my hip, catching a ball in traffic, running downfield and getting used to that contact, because no matter what you do throughout the whole offseason, you can't really replicate that in a live 11-on-11 drill. So for me, I feel 100%. I'm not out there thinking about it, but I got to keep working and keep building on what I'm doing out there, because I'm decently happy with how I'm playing, but I feel like I can continue to play a lot better as I get back used to playing football again.
Next up, Jeff Legwell, go ahead, please.
Dick, I'm just curious, Vaughn has talked about it, Chris Harris has talked about it, that when you're rehabbing, you're kind of away from your teammates and doing on your own. How have you dealt with that, and how much do you enjoy sort of being back in the regular flow of things?
Yeah, that's probably the hardest thing that nobody really talks about, and it's hard for people to understand. But when you grow up around football, you grow up in sports, you're constantly part of a team. You're constantly part of something bigger than yourself. And then when you get hurt, you're still part of the team, but it's this weird thing where you are, but you aren't. You feel like you're part of the team, but you also feel miles away, because most of your time spent in the training room. You got to lift when they practice. When you're meeting, you're not out there reviewing yourself and critiquing yourself. So I'd say, honestly, that's probably the hardest part about rehab is it can get a little bit lonely. And that's where you start to build yourself up mentally. And throughout all three of my ACLs, I think I've come out of the rehab more mentally tough than I did going into it.
Next up, Ryan O'Halloran, go ahead, please.
Hey, Jake, haven't been on the field for a couple weeks now. What do you like about Pat's offense?
Can you say that again?
Unmute you. What do you like about Pat's offense?
Pat, it's Pat's offense, but it's kind of Pat's mentality. Really, is we're going to attack the defense. We're gonna try to exploit one-on-one matchups. We're going to find a one-on-one, and we're not going to be afraid to attack it. We might like a concept front side, but hey, if we got Cortland one-on-one backside, let's not screw around with it. Let's go attack that matchup because we like that. And that's kind of Pat's mindset is let's put the pressure on the defense, get them on their heels. And he does a really good job of mixing it up between run game, pass game, and play action too. I think a lot of our plays kind of go together, so it's hard for the defense to pick up on, pattern reads and stuff, because we have different counter punches to go off each concept.
Next up, Brandon Cristal, go ahead, please.
Jake, when you see your head coach talk about he's excited to see a healthy Jake Budd, and Drew Lock says there's nobody that everyone in the locker room is pulling for more than you, how do you react to that? Because you're out there just trying to do your best and get a job, but how do you process that?
I mean, it means a lot, honestly. A lot of, guys have seen kind of what I've been through. And if you've been through an ACL, you know how hard one is. And to go through three, it's, it means a lot to get that recognition from you know, your comrades, your teammates, your coaches. But for me, I'm healthy. It's part of my story, but I'm out there playing ball, and I'm not looking back. I don't have any excuses for myself. For me, I got to play better. I got to elevate my game. I got to go out there and compete every single day. The goal for me now is to make the team, to go out there and have a good practice every single day, to get better every single day, to push my group, and help this offense win games. So, you know, the recognition is always great, but I try not to dwell on it too much. I'm trying to continue to push myself to be a better football player.
Next up, Nick Kosmeyer, go ahead, please.
Hey, Jake, obviously such an unprecedented year for everybody, but particularly rookies coming into this league, having not had the offseason live, not having preseason games. What's been your impression of how, you know, both the draft picks and the undrafted guys have handled that coming into this camp, and particularly the guy in your group?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough year. I mean, for every one of us, we were trying to learn a whole new offense over Zoom. But it's even tougher when you come from a lot of college systems are pretty simple nowadays, and Pat's got a lot of verbiage. It's a true pro style system, so it's been an adjustment for everybody. But that's league wide, you know. It's not really an excuse for anybody. It's the playing field's even, and I thought our coaches did a good job on Zoom all offseason of detailing it. And the rookies have done a solid job, honestly, all things considered. You know, Big Al, I think he's went out there and just showed what kind of a physical freak he is running down the field. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of mistakes and some growing pains, especially just understanding the concepts and the details of tight end. It's a hard position to transition to. But I think Al stepped up, and he's picked it up really well, and he's worked at it, and that's credit to him.
Next up, Troy Rank, go ahead, please.
Jake, good to see you out there and healthy, my man. You know,
Appreciate
you have
it.
a lot of things you could do in your life. You're an impressive guy. What brings you back to football? What was it in your darkest times? And you know, you had other things you could do. Why keep staying with football? What brings you back?
Gosh, man, it's I don't know if anyone's ever really asked me that. It's a really good question, because there was a lot of days I wanted to quit. Like, there was a lot of days I was really down on myself, questioning myself, questioning, you know, why I'm even doing this kind of thing. Like, and for me, it's my support group, my teammates, my friends, and maybe just a little bit of craziness that I've had, you know, implanted in me from my parents and my family growing up, that there's just, you know, you can't quit and just show up tomorrow. And it might not be the best day, but you just got to build on it. You know, the path might not be linear. You're going to have some down days, but eventually you're going to go back up. And I'm really happy I stuck with it, because I do really feel really, really good out there. I feel like I can still play in this league, and I can contribute, and I can even get much better than what I'm playing right now. So I think that's a lesson that, you know, I've definitely learned through this, that everybody can learn, is that bad days are going to come, tough days are going to come, but you can't quit. You just got to keep showing up. Coach Landau says, chop wood and carry water. It's a book he gave to us, and it's kind of been my mindset through this whole thing. It's just the little things that you got to do on a daily basis to get you back to where you want to go.
Guys, time for a few more. Next up, Mike Kliss, please.
Yeah, Jake, I was going to ask you why, why you kept at it. But just as a follow-up, do you know of any examples of guys who have come back from 3 ACLs? I know there's a bunch from 1s and maybe a couple from 2s.
Yeah.
Is there anybody from 3s?
I mean, one thing, even the coaches have talked about, because they were with him in San Francisco. Frank Gore is an example. I think he might have been 2, but I don't know if he was 2 or 3, but I know his career was on the line, and he's still chugging today. Thomas Davis had 3 on on the same knee, and I spoke to Thomas Davis last time when I had my original ACL surgery, and just he breathed some life into me. There is some examples. They're kind of few and far between. It's a really tough road to go down, and you got a lot of mental battles to overcome. But there's a proven formula. There's guys out there that have done it, and I'm just trying to follow in their footsteps.
Next up, Darren McKee, go ahead, please.
Jake, you really have an inspirational story, so I wish you absolutely the best of luck here. What are examples of you chopping wood and carrying water?
Man, I mean, it's the little things where there's days where you're down on yourself. Kind of like I was just telling Troy, is there's a lot of days where I question myself, and there was days I wanted to just walk out of the building and throw in the towel. But Those are the days where you got to break it down into the little things. Like, hey, let me detail this warm up. It always starts with the warm up, is what Coach Landau says. Is be detailed in the littlest things. Break it down into little increments. When you're tired, fight that mental battle with that person inside of you telling you to quit. Hey, I'm tired after 6 reps. I got to get to 8. Well, I'm going to do 10 or 12 today. I'm going to do a little bit extra just to completely prove to myself that I can do this. And in fact, I can even do more. And it shows up every day. It's something that everybody has to do, especially in camp, man. You're sore, you're tired, you're fatigued, but you got to go out there and continue to do the little things and continue to practice and try to get better.
Last one, Kyle Newman. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Jay, can you tell me about the vibe inside the tight end room a little bit? Obviously, a lot of depth behind Fant, a lot of competition going on. What's it like there, and having some, a newcomer, Alberto, a rookie, kind of what's it like in there right now?
We have a great room. We have a great room. I've been lucky throughout my whole career. We've always had really good rooms, and tight ends are usually a really cool position group. But I really, really enjoy our room this year. We got a talented room, but guys aren't selfish. Guys are genuinely want to see each other succeed. We're pushing each other, and obviously that starts with Noah, and it trickles on down with all of us. But when our numbers are called, we're out there trying to make plays. I think you guys saw Fumagalli make some really nice catches in the red zone today. We had a couple guys down, and others got to step up. So we definitely have a talented room. We'll see how it all plays out. But as I always say, competition brings out the best in everybody, and I think that's one of the best things we got going for our room.